What's going on, party people? Welcome to another episode of the Men in Scoring Position podcast. I am not the resident runner on second, but I will be filling in. Joined today by my co-host. Some call him the Studley Muffin. Some call him the Freakin' Rican. I just like to call him my best buddy, Chris Rodriguez.
Hi, how's everybody doing tonight?
Oh, man. Was that your trivia voice?
That's my trivia voice.
Well, how's everyone doing tonight? Guys, if you're just tuning in for the first time, thank you so much. If you're tuning in for a repeat listener, again, thank you so much. We are the Men in Scoring Position. We are a sports-related podcast through the Laugh Factory Network. You can find us on Facebook, SoundCloud, and iTunes, self-titled Men in Scoring Position. You can find us on Snapchat and Twitter at Men in Scoring POS. If you have any thoughts, comments, overall points of view, prediction plunge segments, does he know what he's talking about, suggestions, trivia questions, feel free and email us at meninscoringpod@gmail.com. And lastly, guys, we are doing an awesome transition into YouTube. You can find all of our stuff on YouTube. And by all of our stuff, I mean episodes 15 and higher. So that being said, I got Chris in. For those of you who don't know, my normal co-host Billy is in Portland visiting his brother, doing his thing. And I brought a character today. So I think you guys will like him just as much as I did. Chris, thank you so much for coming on, man.
Not a problem. Anytime for my best bud.
Oh, you know. Should we do like a little... Oh, what? Sprinkle. No, the locket. Oh, popcorn player. All right. Yeah, and we're that douchey. That being said, guys, Chris, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Where'd you grow up?
Well, I grew up here in Chicago on the south side.
South side?
Unfortunately, I am a Cubs fan, most would say, given my south side nature.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know the city of Chicago, south is Sox, north is Cubs. But he was the smart one.
So I hear that sometimes, but... in the later years, I spent most of my time on the north side and a little bit of the western suburbs.
Where at on the south side were you born?
55th and Kenneth.
Oh, shit. Click. Click.
I'll see you guys later next week.
Yeah, right. Please don't shoot me. So that's cool, man. So you said you moved to the north side and then the suburbs?
That is correct.
Where at on the north side?
Over here. Pretty much, we
Where's
started
here?
off of Foster Ave. I believe you were my first roommate.
That's right. No, actually, we were Bryn Mawr and Sheridan.
Oh, okay.
Loyola campus. Do you not remember?
I mean, I walked up to Foster a few times.
We might have been a little...
tipsy.
That's the word. Guys, also quick, I forgot to shout out because I don't have my plugs in front of me. Shout out to Laugh Factory. We are now officially on the Laugh Factory Network. Be sure and check us out on our Facebook page and Laugh Factory's Facebook page. And if you show the box office that you follow us, you get complimentary tickets to a show, which is great. Bring a girlfriend. Anybody follows us on any of our social media platforms, you get free tickets, which is face value, $20, $30 a ticket. You could look pretty cool in front of your girl or guy or whatever. And we also want to give a shout out to our friends over at Frank's Bar at 2503 North Clark Street, Condito Katie. You guys are amazing. Feel free to mention Men in Scoring Position to them. They will hook you up. And yeah, always tip your bartenders and wait staff. That being said, let's get back to Chris and your life. So
great.
So we're out in the suburbs.
So much.
So let me hear about your interesting suburb experience. Where is it that you moved to?
Well, it was great. I moved to Plainfield, Illinois, and I learned what not to be like.
P-ville. Shout out to all our P-ville listeners. We have a couple out there.
Yeah, and it was quite an experience.
District 202.
Yep, got a little education, learned a little bit about how people treat each other in life.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Did you move anywhere else?
I lived in Downers Grove a little bit. Went to Downers Grove North for my senior year.
Okay.
It's pretty
Did you play any sports?
Yeah.
Growing up? What did you play?
Played football, basketball, and baseball.
Mm-hmm. What was your forte?
I had more passion in basketball. I'd say I worked harder in that field, but I had maybe more of a natural tact for football.
And you're still trash.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's rough. No, he's a hell of a baller, guys. I've played one-on-one with this guy.
He can't throw a football more than 15 yards.
It's true. I can't throw, but I can catch one. That's true. So okay, yeah, that's right. Weren't you saying you had a hell of a fastball?
Yeah.
Accurate?
Where we're at right now, we'll say around like 75, 80, but in my hay, I'd say about 89, 90.
Wow.
Lefty.
Did you have any offers?
No. I mean, when I was like 13, everybody would say, you need to go to the Cubs.
Really? With Rookie of the Year, huh?
Rookie of the Year.
I see that. So that's cool, man. So tell us about your fandom. Tell about what sports matter to you. Let's hear about your teams, and then we'll kind of break that down after you list them off.
For the sports that are going on now, I'd say it's era based. So gotta love '90s basketball in Chicago.
Are we turning into those old guys?
Yeah, I think we are.
Are we like, back in my day, in the 90s, that was basketball.
They don't know what defense is these days.
All right, so 90s basketball.
You used to be able to take a guy out.
And now it's like you can't even touch him.
Yeah, LeBron.
Yes, we got another LeBron. We're going to have a LeBron-a-thon, by the way, and you're my ammo.
I can tell you my worst three athletes.
Yeah. Starts with LeBron and ends with James.
Yep. You could throw a Mayweather in there as well.
Oh God, what a trash bag.
Can he read yet?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think 50 can pay taxes, and I don't think Floyd can read. Oh, that's mildly racist, but I like it.
Joke.
Jesus, oh man, Mike's killing him today.
Killing the game.
Oh man, so okay, so what are your teams? So you got 90s basketball.
Basketball right now.
To buy your hat, I'd take a Bulls fan.
I'm going to say Bulls. Used to be a big Celtics fan. That's all broken up. Everybody's everywhere else.
Yeah. Oh, so you were more of a fan of like the original Big Three than you were like the Celtics organization as a whole.
Yeah, I like the Rondo squad with Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen.
Well, if you like Rondo, the Bulls are poised to win the 2009 championship right now. So, I think we'll be all right. Jesus Christ.
Unreal.
All right, so you're a current Bulls fan then.
Current Bulls fan.
Okay.
Where's Heinrich? Is he in Atlanta today or is he in Chicago?
He's in Atlanta.
Okay, because every other day.
Yeah, he comes back and forth.
Yeah.
We bring him around.
I think he's got a lot of frequent flyer miles.
I think I'm the only guy in Chicago that never liked Heinrich. I liked him for like the 2 years he exploded, and then after that I was just like, no, he's kind of trash. I liked Andres Nocioni when Heinrich was doing good.
There you go.
So all right, so you got the Bulls. You got professional football, college football. What do you like?
I don't watch much college. Professional football, I got a couple squads.
Well, let me hear a couple squads.
I like the Seahawks.
Okay.
Which I hear every day from this gentleman over here.
Yeah.
Is the most terrible thing I could do.
No, it's not the most terrible, but you're now a Panthers fan, I would assume.
No. Although I did live in North Carolina a bit.
Come on and haze.
I hear a lot of Newton on social media, So.
All right, so you like the Seahawks. You like our beloved Bears?
Always love the Bears.
Fair enough.
Not so much the decisions that we make sometimes, but what can you do?
Yeah, the infrastructure is completely fucked. We're trying to rebuild right now, so we'll see.
We usually get rid of people in their prime. They do better on other teams, and that's where we end up.
Yeah. What about that hell of a throwing arm? You must be still a Cubs fan, I would imagine.
Yeah, I love the Cubs. What were we there, 2 days ago, 3 days ago?
Yeah, we went on Monday, that 14-inning game.
We left early.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
Today is September 1st, 2016, by the way. I forgot to mention that.
Great day.
Great to be alive. Is that our first Travis Tritt reference of the night? That's funny. What was I gonna say? So, all right. So let's get to start. You said you're a football fan.
Yeah, I can be.
So have you heard the latest news? Let me get my what's his name? Jay Leno. So have you heard about this? You heard about this lately?
You heard about this
Kaepernick? Yeah, he decides not to sit down during the national anthem.
Yeah,
First off, it's a very hot topic issue. It's a very hot button issue. For those of you who don't know my buddy Chris here, he's predominantly a left wing kind of guy. He's very liberal. He's done Obama campaigns and
Secretary of Transportation.
Yeah. Shout
out to Anthony Fox.
You know what I'm saying? A little CTA every now and then. Tells it like it sees it like it tells it. And I just want to get your opinion because you're a very open-minded, intelligent dude, and I want to know: do you swing one way? Do you see both sides of the story? What do you think about why this is such a big issue right now?
For me, sometimes when I see players acting out, I try to see how relevant they actually are as a player. And
so do you think him sitting down during the national anthem is him acting out, or do you think it's like...
I think that, he's had a bad last couple seasons. He wasn't strong in the playoffs. And, he wants to be that man again this year. I don't necessarily... if he was going to do that, how many national anthems has he sat through already?
Right. And why all of a sudden right now?
Right.
Before
the season starts... when he's not that relevant, it's just an odd gesture. And then I heard this thing about some socks he was wearing. You know, it's kind of like
for those of you who don't know about the socks, that was going to be what Chris is referring to is Kaepernick just got cited and picked. It's been all over the national news wearing socks with like almost Porky the Pig, but not Porky the Pig, just pig faces with policeman caps on them. And it's only been interpreted as blatant disrespect to the police force. So that's what Chris is referring to right now.
And there's a lot of that going on. So I think he's just trying to pick his place and get his shine while he can. Again, he's lost a little relevance. I'd say he has to play, equally as good to impress me with those gestures. If he comes off this season as pulling stunts every game, then we know kind of where his head's at.
Yeah. And, it's funny because, like, Ron Jaworski, the old quarterback and now announcer, he was so sold on Kaepernick. He's like, man, this guy's worth every penny. He's the second coming of Christ. And then all of a sudden he just fell off. Everybody's like, he throws rocket balls that go nowhere and all this other stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think with the backup quarterback position as it is, Mark Sanchez being highly touted by a lot of teams, why would you not go after a guy like Kaepernick? I think athletically, like, he could be extremely beneficial to a lot of teams. Do people want to pick up that contract? I think is what it comes down to.
And I think he had some tension with Harbaugh too. So
yeah,
now that's
the guy who made him,
right?
You know what I mean? And this is just speculation, but yeah. So what is your take on that? Do you think that he's in the right per se? And I'm not putting you on the spot. I'm just curious as to your take on. Do you think he has the right to sit down during the national anthem? Do you think? And then that's the A side of it. The B side of it is, do you think it's racial? Do you think it is racially motivated. Do you think that it should be blown up as much, or we should just leave it as freedom of speech?
It's a little bit of both. It really depends on, is there better players that could have represented that, that equality fight? I think so. I don't see much.
Somebody more relevant.
Right. I don't see much of what he's doing as far as in the communities. And if he's this activist that's standing up for some rights, I'd like to see, a little bit of what he's doing.
I thought he was just doing what he was normally doing, which is riding the bench. But then apparently, it's just like he's just not doing the national anthem.
Yeah.
That's interesting to me. I'm left, I'm liberal, and I'm conservative in a lot of my views. When it comes to prostitution, I'm liberal. When it comes to women's rights, I'm conservative. So, no, I'm just kidding.
That's a good one.
You like that? I think I stole that from a Chappelle episode. What's that, Mike?
The new Ghostbusters is shit.
Oh, Jesus. No, I'm not going after Leslie Jones. That poor lady's been through enough. Yeah, I think some of the veterans have come into support. It's there's this hashtag trending on Twitter right now, Veterans for Kaepernick. I think if it's okay with them, it's okay with me. Who I've never served and I've never played professional football, so I can't see both sides. But like you said, I think he should put his money where his mouth is.
Right.
I think this guy lives in a country where he himself. Now, the argument is now he has a voice, he has a platform. It's not how blessed has he been, it's what's he going to do with the power that he has. So I see that aspect of it. From my perspective, dude, you're getting $180 million to ride the bench. I think it's 180, I'm not exactly sure, but he's definitely getting roughly between 15 to 20 million a year to ride the bench as a relatively unknown quarterback, coming out of college. And all of a sudden, is this like a marketing stunt? Is this to try to be, like you said, is it trying to become relevant again? I don't know per se. All I know is put your money where your mouth is. How about you donate half your salary towards, benefiting.
Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, Black Lives Matter movements or just anything in the communities. Like, what are you really doing? I would like to delve into that. And if he is, and he is putting his money where his mouth is, I think everybody should shut up.
I see a lot of sneakers and blondes that he's spending most of his time with. So
you know what I mean?
I mean, it's like the Mayweather and the LeBron story is,
Well, even LeBron, as much as I don't like him as a player, donates so much money to colleges, so much money to kids, so much money to education, so much money to clothing, so much money to the community that regardless of what you think of him as a basketball player, which I think he's the most overrated joke of all time, I think that he's an outstanding human being.
as a young athlete, I feel they always say attitude is everything, and they try to instill that to you in you when you're at a young age.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of these larger than life players lose that. They don't understand the impact they're making when they say the things they do or do the things that they do.
Right. And it's so funny that we're calling Kaepernick a larger-than-life player.
No, I was referring to the other players.
The Voldemort of this podcast.
Is your 5th year in the league considered a veteran?
I don't know. I think so. It's definitely – well, you're a super senior.
Yeah.
And then you're a veteran. Oh, man. Enough about Kaepernick, man. That guy. So Kaepernick lost to your beloved Seahawks in the Super Bowl a couple of years back. Let's talk just crazy predictions. Let's talk Seahawks. They lose a couple guys on defense. They lose one of their wide receivers. But all in all, and then they lose Marshawn Lynch. All in all, though, that team as a whole still has the same infrastructure in Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson, Doug Baldwin, Richard Sherman, so on and so forth. The big names. Michael Bennett. So, as a Seahawks fan, are you worried? Where do you
I feel
see
like
them?
that's a stronger organization. I feel like they get their stuff together on and off the field. They represent what it is to be in the NFL at the highest level, playing professional sports. And no, I'm not that worried. I think at least they should be in the championship game, if not the Super Bowl this year. But we'll see. It's not the strongest squad that it's ever been, but I've seen them do more with less. So
Yeah.
we shall see.
Yeah, you remember those Sean Alexander, Matt Hasselbeck days?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Man, those guys. All right, cool, man. Not so much on our beloved Bears, but we'll come back to that. So, Chris and I were going to go to the game tonight, September 1st, after we just swept the Pirates, which was pretty freaking sweet. And Addison Russell made a phenomenal catch. If you guys did not see the catch, check out Men in Scoring Positions Facebook. It was arguably top 10 play of the year, in my opinion. It was unreal. But my boy, my dog, my number 17, brother from another, Chris Bryant, is leading the National League right now with 36 home runs. Do the Cubs win the World Series?
I hope.
Right answer. I was trying to bait him right there, guys.
You're not going to catch me on camera saying something like
No, because then you get exiled.
Yeah.
We're living in freaking Oregon.
Banned from the north side.
Oh, man. Yeah, you might have remember a guy by the name of Steve Bartman.
Not trying to catch foul balls.
Oh, jeez. So, yeah, man, Cubs are looking great. We went to that game. They were able to pull themselves out. What was it?
6-3.
Yeah, 14 innings.
Yep. Tied in the ninth.
Being the upstanding individuals we are, we're like, fuck, it's 12 o'clock. We got to go to the bar. We were sobering up. We were not having it. And I must say that I was not feeling the best the next day.
Yeah, me neither.
I directly blame you, sir.
I blame your double tequila shots.
A double tequila shot. It was not. Okay, it was a double.
It was a double.
But you know what? At least we're keeping it classy. We're not doing whiskey.
No, but you do get me drinking whiskey on occasion.
It was a long time ago. God, my mother listens to this podcast, for Christ's sake. Oh, man, yeah.
We drink a lot of tap water as well, not primarily liquor. That's not our only drink of choice.
No. Look at we got bottled water here, which I'm covering up the logo. So, right? We're legit? All right, cool.
It's good water, trust us.
It's good water. It's from the
Mountain.
French Alps.
Base of a mountain.
Oh, that's funny, man. All right, yeah. So tell me about. Let's talk '90s basketball. We're gonna take it all the way back. This segment's gonna be called Toon Squad. All right, the Toon Squad seg. Let's talk '90s basketball. I have a funny question. Well, here, tell us about your team in the '90s, why you love them, and just go down a rabbit hole with that. Who's your guys?
I mean, obviously the Bulls were a great squad. The Knicks were pretty decent. Detroit was pretty great.
You like the Knicks and the Bulls?
I'm just saying.
Whoa,
These were
dude.
squads
Did you
in
get
the
beat up a
90s.
lot as a kid?
Well, I like, the rough and tough basketball, so I like
Yeah.
those squads based on, how they played the game and what the game lacks today.
Yeah.
It's real soft for our superstars today versus
It's painful to
what our
watch.
superstars had to endure in those eras.
Yeah.
The elbows to the face and, dropping 64 points is different than Kobe dropping 64 points and nobody's guarding
touching him. Yeah.
But
No, I remember I've made a couple references towards the Bulls, facing the bad boys.
It was a lot of great series.
Could you imagine if LeBron went up against Rick Mahorn and Bill Laimbeer?
I could imagine. I think about it every day.
He'd be crying. He'd be absolutely crying. He'd be on the floor like, I don't know. But, okay, so you were a big Bulls fan.
Bulls fan.
Who were your guys on the Bulls?
I liked BJ.
BJ Armstrong?
A couple trays out of nowhere.
Okay.
Obviously, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen.
And we're not going to do the triplets. Who were?
Yeah. I liked a little bit of Rodman. He had that attitude.
He's one of the triplets.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you got BJ. Give me two more.
I mean, you like Luke. I mean, you gotta like Luke.
Luke Longley,
You gotta like
the
Luke,
only
yeah.
British center of all time.
And Tony Kukoc, Steve Kerr. Yeah.
Kukoc. Well, Kukoc was a star in his home country long before he ever came to us. He was like the Nikola Mirotic of.
Ooh, there you go.
I dated a Serbian chick. So, yeah, that's great. That's cool, man. I love that team. Was incredible.
Yeah,
I love those guys.
I mean, they did it with a lot of different guys.
Yeah,
consecutively.
Yeah, you remember like everybody's like Jordan, and Jordan is the man. He's the greatest player of all time. He is the GOAT. But Kerr was hitting a lot of those game winners.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Look where he is now.
Yeah.
Still winning them championships.
Doing his thing. Doing his thing, man. Like that team embodies Kerr. Did you see Obama when he introduced them after their championship? He goes, and to the greatest player in the world. Or to the greatest player on the greatest team in the world, Steve Kerr. So I was laughing about that, man. Okay, so you said the Knicks. What'd you like about the Knicks?
Back to Obama. He's got a pretty good basketball IQ.
He does.
Pretty decent.
Chicago, baby.
And college basketball. He knows he's picking some good squads. I mean, he generally picks Hawaii, but.
Yeah. Does he really? That's his squad?
That's his squad.
Really? Does Hawaii have a squad?
No, not recently.
Yeah. I mean, they have a decent football program, I should say.
Yeah, I don't watch much Hawaii
sports.
Hey,
dude, those Polynesian islands, man, that is like football is life. Like that is a way for them to get out. You know what I mean? Not saying that they need to get out, but like they get out and then they come back, obviously. But
I'm trying to get in.
I'm trying to get hook a brother up. I like to surf. I'll rock a puka shell. Those dances look fucking badass. I don't know if it's a Weemawet, you racist son of a bitch.
I think that's how it goes.
That's not how it goes.
Oh,
a Weemawet?
Wait, is that the Lion King then?
I think it is. Did we just Timon and Pumbaa this situation? Right. All right. So the Knicks, break that down for me. I find that fascinating that you could be a '90s Knicks and. You like the Pacers too while you're at it?
I mean, where do you think Phil went? I mean, he was a Bulls fan. I mean, I didn't hear you say anything when Phil went to the Knicks in the office.
Phil was originally a Knick.
No, but I'm saying when he went there after he was here, he didn't say anything.
Well, he did a little stint in Lakers with the Lakers. Won a couple championships over there.
Just a couple.
Just no big deal.
He's got like 7 or 8 rings?
No, he's got more than that. He's got 11.
11?
Yeah, he's got 11.
That's right. One.
He's got 6 with the Bulls and 5 with the Lakers.
I knew it was 1 extra for the hand.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. I think it's 11.
I think it is. He's got every hand with a ring and then 1 extra.
Is
every
it?
Finger with a ring, 1 extra.
Phil Jackson rings. How many rings? Gladly. 13 of his NBA rings. But then no, he's also counting like the ones that he won as a Knick, I think. Yeah, gladly show you all of his 13 NBA championships.
Interesting.
Actually has 13 rings, 11 earned during Bulls. So I was right. It was 11 with the Bulls and the Lakers, and then reserve forward in 70 and 73 when he was a player for the Knicks.
I love that photo right there. They got
Which one? Who are you? I'm on Yahoo Sports.
I'm looking at all the rings.
Oh, he has them all on?
Yeah, you look up Phil Jackson's rings, and you just got the most beautiful pieces of basketball history.
Dude, that's insane. There's not even like top 3 basketball coaches in my opinion.
You think he ever wears it on his toes?
I would. I would.
Personally probably would as well.
Dude, I would just sit at home, like light a bowl, and just wear all the rings all over myself. You know what I mean? I don't even just sit there and just be like, I did this.
And when he means bowl, he means one of those Glade wax candles that you melt.
No, absolutely. What did you think? He burns sage, dude. Okay.
He's a pretty spiritual guy.
He is a spiritual guy. Like, look, shout out to Phil Jackson, potential sponsor.
Come get at us, Phil.
Holla at your koala. Yeah, that's insane, man. 13 rings. So for me, it goes Phil Jackson, John Wooten, Greg Popovich, in that order. And a lot of people will be like, why do you put Wooten over Pop? He won 72 games in a row. And not to mention the fact, like, every coach pays homage. I think if every coach pays homage to a coach, that automatically puts them over it.
I'd say Riley as well,
Pat Riley.
Popovich, and then also Phil.
What about Jerry West as a player, coach, and GM?
Beast.
Yeah. Yeah, they're insane. So this is a 90s segment here. We're reliving it.
Assuming we were like 15, 10 years old, somewhere around there.
Yeah, no, I whitey tidies it up, dude.
All day.
Starter jackets, baby. All right, so give me, in no particular order, your 10 all-90s team.
10 all 90s?
Assuming,
in each position or just
assuming
anybody?
that you're not going to put Christian Leitner in there.
Anybody? Or
yeah, it can be any position, any like the most talented players to you from 1990 to 2000.
I mean, I don't know why this one came first, but Vince Carter was always epic.
Nice, I like that.
Like Vince Carter. I mean, when his hand was up to the elbow in the rim.
When Vince Carter came,
sold.
stuck his arm in the rim, everybody went crazy in the whole damn gym. I see you. Bow Wow reference, first one of the day. All
Also
right.
90s.
Also 90s. They're playing basketball.
Yep.
They love that basketball. You just left me hanging there?
Well, I was going to come in at the...
Oh.
Well, we've digressed.
Fair enough. And so, yeah. All right, so Vince Carter.
Throw Vince in there. Obviously, I'll keep Michael Jordan at the end, I guess. We'll say him.
Yeah,
last.
well, Mike's in there, right?
Mike's
We're
in
just
there.
going to
That's
assume Mike's in there.
for sure.
Scotty in there?
Scotty's in there.
Scotty's in there, so we got...
I love the Zip and Pippin little juice boxes.
Zippin' Pips. By the way, bring back Rice Krispie Treat cereal. If anybody is listening to this, that was my favorite fucking cereal. Oh, I like how I tell you not to swear, and I'm just like swearing up a storm here. All right, so we got Carter, Scotty, Mike. 7 more.
Let's see. I'm gonna pull up some names just to freshen up.
You have to pull up names?
Just off the top. I mean, it is 2016, so we're talking 26 years
Yeah,
ago.
but I never left the 90s. I still
still
rock
there.
cheat code jeans to this day.
Let's see.
I shop at JCPenney.
The mailman
Oh, Malone.
is in there.
All right, I like that pick. You're going off the wall here.
Yeah, a little jazz in there.
Jazz it up a bit.
Yeah, keep it jazzy.
Got to.
Robinson.
The Admiral. Over all those centers, you go Admiral.
All right, we're digressing from that. Reggie.
Okay, Reggie.
Gotta have him up there. I mean, a lot of these guys, all their records are getting, broken the last.
Oh, I don't care
couple
about
years.
that. We're talking about the significance of them to their team.
I like to call him my Uncle Ray Allen.
Ray Allen, you're gonna put in there?
Oh yeah.
What? A '90s player?
I mean, I like pure shooters. He's got one of the best strokes that I've ever
Jesus Shuttlesworth?
seen. Who else we got? Let me think. I mean, I'm always gonna go back to the Bulls. Dominique
Wilkins.
There you go.
All
I
right.
gotta get out of the big guys. Let's talk about some points and shooting guards.
Yeah, who would you ever? That wasn't a very point savvy league
Yeah.
back in the '90s to
It was
the
real
best.
small.
Yeah, you had talk about real small. Muggsy
Muggsy.
Bogues.
Yeah. What was he?
You know,
5'8"?
Ron Harper,
Harper's
John
all right.
Starks, right?
Stockton.
John Stockton's got to be in there, right?
Yeah,
Are
you
you
could
going
throw him in there.
Stockton?
Yeah, you could throw Stockton in
Stockton.
Who else we got?
You got one more.
I've already did 9.
Yeah, you got Malone,
All right, let me take
the
some
Admiral,
time on
Reggie, Ray, Wilkins, Stockton, Scotty, and Mike.
How about?
You could also throw Robin in there, greatest defensive player of all time.
No, we're not gonna.
He is, man. He is. He guarded at all 5 positions.
Tim Hardaway, Penny Hardaway.
Penny or Tim?
I had Penny's shoes, so
Penny.
yeah, we'll throw Penny in there.
That was going to be my ace in the hole.
Yeah.
All right, so you got Vince, Carl, the Admiral, Reggie, Ray, Wilkins, Stockton, Penny, Scotty, and Mike. I like that, but I'm going to.
I'll say it's fair.
And that was off the top, so I'm not calling you out for anything, but I think mine is going to be a little bit different than yours.
Oh, I'm sure.
So for me, I got Mike, obviously. I've got Scotty. I've got Penny on that.
I'm going through some names. I can't believe I forgot Dikembe.
Yeah, no, I'm going. I'm actually not going Mutombo. I'm going Elijah
Okay.
So Akeem Olajuwon. Okay, so I got Mike, Scotty, Penny, Akeem. Now, when was Shaq drafted? Shaq was drafted in the 90s.
Yeah,
so I'm going
earlier.
to throw Shaq in there. because that dude was just ridiculous. I also am going to go with Stockton at point. I am going to go with Clyde Drexler over Dominique Wilkins. I'm going to go Clyde. In the 90s, I like Vince Carter a lot, but I'm going to have to go. Was T-Mac more 20 or 2000s than 90s?
I think so. I think he's more like a 2000.
Was he? All right, because that leaves
Absolutely, because I had his shoes, the T-Max, in like 2002.
Okay, I'm going to throw this guy in here. I don't like the fact this guy doesn't get a lot of love now. He's almost been forgotten about, but I'm going to go Patrick Ewing.
Yeah, you got throwing in there.
Doesn't get a lot of love. I'm also going to throw Malone in there because I remember that 98 series like it was yesterday, and he was driving me up a wall. And then for my 10th and final pick, I think for an all-90s team, you got to kind of throw him in there. Okay, so the 80s, I want to go here. Me and him are both assuming that the 80s are Bird and Magic. We're not throwing Bird and Magic in this, but I'm going to go Larry Johnson, Charlotte. Guys, if you were listening to our list, Chris here has got a list. I do as well. I'm gonna upload it to our Facebook. Feel free to take a poll. I'll also upload it to Twitter and let us know what you think. We got Chris. One last recap with Vince Carter, Karl Malone, David Robinson, Reggie Miller. Fuck, I forgot Reggie Miller.
We also didn't have Charles in either of ours.
We didn't have Barkley, right?
No, we did not.
I feel like the one for you that needs to go is Ray, and the one that needs to go for me would be Larry.
I guess those were are just our personal favorites, but if we're doing
I got 3 centers in here.
Yeah, I think I do as well.
Do you? Who do you got? You have no centers.
No centers?
Not one center. Oh no, you have the Admiral. That's okay. We're gonna upload this, guys. Let us know what you think. Again, this was an off the top segment. Not too worried about it. If your panties are in a bunch, keep them there because I don't care. So I still can't get over this Knicks thing, man. You gotta explain that Knicks love, man. I don't get that.
I just like the squads that played real physical, especially when it came down to the line. So I just like that style of basketball. Not per se those teams individually, but I like how they played basketball.
So did you like Detroit when they were doing their thing?
I mean, Wallace was just a beast.
Okay. We're talking 2000s Detroit. We're talking Chauncey was on that team, right?
Yeah.
So it was Chauncey, Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace. Okay.
Yeah.
All
Good
right.
squads.
That was. Remember when Ben came to the Bulls and it was like the second coming and he did nothing?
Nothing.
Not a thing.
He's doing better in the street leagues.
Yeah. Is he playing still?
I don't think so.
No. What are you gonna do? That guy. So, and you're following up on current basketball. That is correct.
Pretty good.
Okay.
In our older age,
we
can't watch sports all day, but we try.
My AARP card, I get good good coverage. What do you think of, dude? What do you think about the Bulls?
We'll see about this year. I mean, this is in recent times basketball. You see a lot of players going to their rivals, and you see all these players that you would never see in squads. If it was the 90s or early 2000s, a lot of players would never make the moves that they've been. Not a big fan of the Ray Allen, where he went twice. You never think you would see East Coast rivals going to their worst rival.
Yeah, but it's just the world we live in now, right? We
Yeah.
have to, we have to accept it as this is what it is now. Correct?
Yeah, it's kind of like hip hop,
You mean you're not a big Lil Yachty fan?
What do they call that? The mumble rap?
Yeah, mumble rap.
Yeah, no, not a big fan.
Counting on my broccoli. Oh man.
But times change. It is what it is. But it doesn't make for good basketball or good hip hop. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's true. Now you yourself, let's a little side note. You are a hip hop artist, if I'm not mistaken.
I do what I can.
You do what you can, yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. You got any plugs or anything you want to let any of our viewers know where to find you and any shout outs you want to do for yourself?
It used to be Windy City Beats or Chi-Town Beatbox. Now I just go by Windy Supernova.
Windy Supernova.
That's the name.
Nice, man. Do you have any shows or anything coming up or anything in the works that we can
We're
get
working
excited
on
about?
the album. That's pretty much it. It was supposed to be done by the end of the summer. Now it's looking like it's going to be in the winter.
Nice, man. Do you have any like social media platforms or anything they can check you out on? You want to plug?
Windy Supernova.
Windy Supernova. You heard it here, folks, on Men in Scoring Position. Look up Windy Supernova. Really, really amazing artist.
Real hip hop.
Real hip hop. So you don't do mumble rap.
And we could talk about basketball too.
We talk about it, yeah.
90s.
Yeah. Weren't you the one telling me that the Jordans are now 33?
31.
31. Jeez.
And they get progressively worse looking.
Do you really?
Yes, I would say so. I mean, I used to collect every pair until 20.
I got to ask, if you collected every single pair up until 20, did you ever insure anything like that?
No.
So if like a fire happened, you're just...
Losing the collection, baby.
Oh, no.
It's out there.
Oh, Calvin Evans is a famous Chicago comedian. He comes through the Laugh Factory a lot, and he's a big Jordan connoisseur as well. In terms, I like Jordan as much as the next guy, but these guys are like super fanatics.
Oh yeah.
What does an average pair of Jordans go for if they're brand new?
If they're OG, what they call, an original pair of, let's say, 4, 5, 6, 7s, I would say they can go anywhere between like $350 to $600 a pair.
$600 for shoes?
Yeah, and then
These aren't game worn.
No, these are brand new. Most people vacuum seal them, put them in storage. There are pairs that are worth.
So it's almost a collector's item of sorts. You don't wear these shoes.
No, when it was a shoe I really wanted, I'd buy 2.
Really, I remember that. Remember that apartment you had back home?
Yep.
Oh God, I would go into this guy's closet, and he's like, "You want to see something cool?" And he didn't do it like douchey like that, but he was just showing me the apartment. He's like, "You want to see something?" It's a hobby of his. I go in there, and he's got. I remember, dude, it was 2 pairs of each.
We try to keep it real.
Apparently,
most of them have been worn now because it's been 15, 20 years. But,
right. Yeah, you were wearing those Looney Tune Forces out the other day.
Yeah, the Bugs Bunny hair ones.
The hair ones.
The hair ones.
Oh, you know what? That brings me to a funny little side note. Are you gonna see? I don't know if you've heard about this, but Space Jam is.
No, I've heard, and I'm not.
Okay.
I know what you're gonna say. I'm not gonna watch the LeBron James.
This was a metaphor for what you just did.
Mic drop.
Oh, man, you're gonna see it. Are you a big LeBron James fan, Mike? Oh, you are?
If you did the new Ghostbusters, you're probably going to see the new Space Jam.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like they go hand in hand. It's like killing babies, watching the new Space Jam. I get it. Yeah, LeBron James is going to be the star of that.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be on the Alien Squad, but I guess they're making him the star of the team.
Yeah,
Squad.
I think he would have been better suited on the Alien Squad.
Yeah, he looks kind of like one. I mean,
God, we're such ignorant fucks.
They're just going to drag in Bill Murray against his own will again.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
All that money and just can't get the hair to quite just have a nice line.
go with it. No, but again, like I said, man, I'm trying not to hate on LeBron so much. It's like my own personal like journey that I'm going through.
Right. It's my life experience.
It's really hard because as a person, he is an outstanding individual. As a basketball player, I want to punch him in the fucking face. Like I can't stand the way he plays the game. And I can't stand and here was the thing I couldn't stand the most. And a lot of people, I catch a lot of flack. They're like, why don't you like LeBron? Is it because you're from Chicago? Is it because you're from Chicago? I'm sure that has a little bit to do with it, right? So putting that aside for me personally, they're like, well, you're stuck in the past. Like, that's just the way the game's evolved. People flop. You flop. You think Jordan never flopped?
Flip, flop.
Right. So they're saying all this stuff. And I'm like, no, that's not it either. It's the way he conducts himself as, like, it's my own personal thing. I don't like that he flops. No, I don't. I hate it. I personally, what does it the worst for me is social media and sports media just jamming him down my throat.
Yeah, it's
they're
nonstop.
like, you gotta like LeBron. You gotta like LeBron. You gotta like LeBron. This is why you need to like LeBron. I'm sorry, but Kobe was a better player than LeBron ever was. Now, who's gonna say where LeBron's career ends up, what it's gonna be? But I never wanted, ever wanted LeBron taking the last second shot, and that goes till today. I'd rather have Kyrie take the last second shot. But in terms,
I would as well.
But in terms of, like, we're talking about the Mamba with 5 championships, who played against the greats, who emulates Jordan in every facet. Mm-hmm. So sure, there's a bias there, and I'll admit to it. I'm not admitting to that. That's fine. But you take all the bias out. Kobe is a better player than LeBron.
And
Fact.
I think it comes down to also is that
numbers wise, all of it.
these entities, the NFL, the NBA, these are businesses, and so what's most marketable for the NBA, the NFL, they always surround themselves, especially in more recent times, with the players that they feel are the strongest to make the most money. And LeBron's been that character for some time. So, anybody who's got selling the most shoes happens to get the most leeway in the foul territory.
He seems to also be like the Roman Reigns of the NBA, though. Like, he's being forced and forced and forced. And it was almost as like when Curry was doing so great for 2 years and when Durantula was doing great for those years. Nobody really was like, they're like, he's awesome. Yeah, they're like, he's awesome. Look at his shots. Look at his things. And then Coward's ripping him up. And all these guys are ripping him up. And Mike. And it's like, why? Why weren't you guys jumping down LeBron's throat when he couldn't hit a three to save his life? When he couldn't.
He just got the mid-range.
Yeah, he just got the mid-range shot after 9 years. Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
So it's like one of those things like, where were you guys? You just rode this second coming until he well-rounded his game. Jordan rounded his game in 4 or 5 years. That was it. Like, he was complete. He was a complete basketball player by 93.
Yeah.
Like, and you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I don't want to hear it that, with Jordan or with and it drives me nuts about that. And this is going to be a shout out to, I think we got Chris down there, we got Nick down there, Drake, Billy, all you guys who love LeBron. This is kind of my moment to kind of get away with all
we
this.
Get Billy
right
out of
now.
town. We start talking LeBron.
Yeah, feel free to hit us with some hate on our social media platforms. We love it. We love you guys. But are you in any disagreement with me on this in any way?
I mean, I'm not knocking the guy as a player. He's a good, if not great, basketball player. But, then again, he gets a lot of leeway. He gets a lot of, when you're supposed to be the greatest player in the league, you shouldn't act namby-pamby all the time. You shouldn't have an attitude on the court where you're running over, throwing your hands up all the time. What's going on with that call? Running down the other end of the court, acting like, that was the biggest mistake the refs made. It's just a bad look as a player and as a leader. So those are the types of things I don't like to see what they call the strongest players on a team or the strongest players in the league doing.
Yeah. No,
I mean, your off the court antics are one thing, but on the court, be a leader. If you don't like something, play harder the next one down. It doesn't have to always be the biggest deal in the world, and especially when you're the biggest flopper.
Right. Are you the suck it up LeBron lady version 2.0?
Yeah, suck it up, LeBron.
God, I loved her. I want to marry her. I'm in a total agreement with you. I think sometimes we get ahead of ourselves when we get really, caught up in Chicago, we get caught up in Jordan, we get caught up in everything. But if you have the ability to remove yourself, like I like Russell Westbrook's style of play 1 billion times more than LeBron's style of play.
And if you get a chance, look at the just type in flop and then type in that series.
Oh, it was
OKC. Heat.
And that's that series. I'm still stuck in 2010 when that series was ridiculous.
Rough.
Like we went to Miami. I was like, are they fucking with me? Is anybody watching this game? Is the entire nation Heat fans? Like I don't understand this. But yeah, no, it's frustrating to watch. I like Russell Westbrook style play, and I think personally more marketable would be Curry or Kevin Durant. Yeah. Kevin Durant is fashionable.
Or
He's
Kyrie.
Soft-spoken. Kyrie is amazing. I love Kyrie.
What do you think about LeBron's impact in the finals here in this last series?
I think it completely overshadowed the true MVP.
Yeah.
Like, bottom line, I think Kyrie Irving, and I've always been a Kyrie fan. I have no problem with the kid. He's amazing. He's been plagued by injury. Hopefully he can bounce back from it and do his thing. But everybody's like, LeBron the block. Kyrie was so lights out in that game that Klay Thompson looked over to the bench like, what do you want from me? Because Klay was on him like glue.
Yeah.
And there was no stopping him. No.
When you can't play defense any better and you're still scoring, the other guy's still scoring 30, 40 points a game, what can you say? What can you do?
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, LeBron's numbers were disgusting. I'll give him that. 41. I mean, he matched Kyrie in that last game, but at the end of the day, LeBron does not hold that championship up without Kyrie.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's fine. That's okay. I mean, Jordan had Pippen, all those championship teams had somebody.
Yeah.
It's not just one guy doing it by himself, or else you're Allen Iverson. But what I will say, and he never won.
I'm going to be honest, I almost wore the AI jersey to this today.
Yeah, you got one?
I almost did.
Which one?
The Sixers, it was a red and blue.
Oh, the old school,
Yeah,
like back when he just
starter.
had an afro, no cornrows, no tats.
Yeah, I have the old one. I got a couple throwback jerseys. That
The
I keep around.
crossover jersey.
Yeah, I got a Mugsies too, I think.
You got a Muggsy?
I do. Charlotte.
Nice. I got the. I was always an alternate fan, so I
Yeah.
always had the black and red pinstripe
Nice.
Bulls.
I mean, my favorite is the 2011 Derrick Rose All-Star jersey. That's one of my favorite jerseys that I have to this day.
The all blue.
Yeah.
I have a Kaner, Patrick Kane,
Nice.
USA,
Nice.
which is pretty nice. Yeah, man.
Sweet.
So yeah, Kyrie was a big part. Getting back to that. So where do you see the Bulls finishing this year? How do you see them finishing, and how do you see them working with this Hoiberg debacle of an offense?
You know, we didn't even make the playoffs this last year. I don't think I've seen that for, several years. It's been a
Well, it's pre-Thibodeau.
Yeah, it's been at least
Pre Vinny Del Negro, actually.
Yeah, it's been a while. So it's scary, but I think that
Are you sold on Hoiberg?
No, I'm not.
Who the fuck is Fred Hoiberg? I mean, seriously, who is this guy? I don't know him. If you know him, I
don't know.
wouldn't be able to point him out. Who is this guy? We're all sold on this guy, and Garpex is just getting rid of everybody.
Yeah.
For a retirement home, and a horrible center.
I think Bulls basketball in general, though, is a strong organization as far as the fans, as far as the
Oh, the fans aren't
community.
going anywhere.
Yeah, so I think that, we're going to keep it together. We still have a couple good people on our squad, and I would say Dwayne is a fairly good leader. So
So you like the Dwayne Wade pickup? You realize we went completely broke for him, right?
yeah, but, got to go for the Chicago natives.
You are a diehard fan. I will say that.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck they're doing right now.
It's scary, but we'll see what
We can
happens.
see
I mean,
flashes of brilliance, but does this team get you deep into the playoffs? Absolutely not.
not this year, I don't think, but, anything's possible. If we can go that south last year, maybe we can go that north this
You got a cancer, a retirement guy, and the worst of the two brothers.
Yeah.
And those were your big offseason acquisitions. Are we just kind of grooming our young guys like the Bobby Portises and the Tony Snells and
I hope so.
Nikola Mirotic?
Yeah.
I
hope so.
Are you going to go to any games?
Yeah.
Like, would you buy tickets to a Bulls game this year?
Yeah, at least, a couple of them. I got to show a little face.
Let me just say, if floor seats were $300, would you go?
$225.
So you would barter.
Yeah, I'd have to barter.
You'd barter with the lady. You'd barter with the lady at the ticket box office.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to my buddy Shaq, who always got the season tickets. I may call you this year. We'll see.
You know what I'm saying? Do you really have a friend named Shaq?
Yeah. And he's the season ticket holder for the
That's
Bulls.
awesome. Doctor? Is he a doctor, perhaps?
No, but he is Indian.
Oh, okay. All right. So, underlying tones of racism. Got it. Love it. Love it. Yeah, man. I don't know, dude. The Bulls basketball as a whole is I want to love it again.
I do too. Trust me.
Do I sound like an absolute pessimist this entire podcast?
No.
Like, am I negative Nick?
We went through the golden years.
We did.
We did reflect on some of the better times and the better eras of the.
Do you like this stretch five where like point guards guard? I guess it really doesn't matter if you like it or not, but
It happens.
Yeah, I think with Rondo too, if he can show flashes of brilliance, because he did show it in Sacramento. Like, his passing ability was pretty nice.
Yeah.
He still has that. Dwayne, I think he's going to be a pretty lights
I'm
out.
going to call now. He's going to hurt his lower back.
Think so?
Maybe. If he falls on it, wrong.
And then nobody's talking Robin Lopez. For Christ's sakes, our own coach got his name wrong.
Yeah, that is true.
It's hilarious.
He's like,
And then Taj Gibson I like.
I love Taj.
Like Taj. So I guess maybe
What about
I'm now a
McDermott?
pseudo Knicks fan. What's that?
Doug McDermott.
Oh, McBuckets, man. Yeah.
He's going to be fly.
Dude, he's starting to jam him, doing his thing.
Mm-hmm. Always Jimmy, too.
That
I
big.
think he's going to do good things this year. We'll be an all right squad. We have to make it to the playoffs or people will not start showing up at games.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's already hard to get enough to get people to the UC due to the area and due to, the inconvenience of like parking and traveling on 94. So,
Yeah.
There's that. I mean, the Hawks have no problem selling out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we'll see. All right, so we covered a little bit of the Seahawks. We covered a little bit of our beloved Bulls. We did that little Toon Squad segment. Let's get on to our Bears and the NFL as a whole.
The Bears.
The Bears. What do you Why do our teams suck so bad?
Yeah.
Thank God for the Cubs. Am I right?
Yeah, right.
So we went and covered the Bears down in Bourbonnais.
How'd you guys like that?
It was pretty cool, man. We got the press passes, which was fun. They're pretty legit and they're pretty strict about don't take pictures after a certain time.
Yeah.
Don't post this. Post it for 24 hours. We're still kind of holding on to those pics. We're gonna do that at some point.
Nice.
But now that we're officially part of Laugh Factory,
Laugh Factory.
we will be interviewing players and coaches and stuff like that of the sorts in the near future. So that'll be fun.
Also making suggestions for roster changes.
Also, yeah, no, you have to. So, Michael, how about you just play these teams by yourself? Remember that Bill Swarsky superfan skit? That kind of SNL. I don't think they let me do that, guys. How about you and a certain Coach Ditka? Oh, that's already unfair. So that was funny.
Trick question. Ditka is God.
Oh yeah, it was like, hey, who'd win in a hurricane?
Ditka versus a hurricane.
But what if the hurricane was Hurricane Ditka? Oh God! Oh, who'd win in a game of golf? Wasn't it? Yeah. Who'd win in a game of golf, Ditka or God? Trick question. Ditka is God. So yeah, we got Cutler coming back. We got a couple injuries to the O
Is he
line.
still smoking?
Per usual.
Menthol?
I would. It's either him or his crazy bitch wife and Kristen Cavallari.
Whoa.
Dude, she's a nightmare.
Yeah.
What
I
a
can imagine.
What a bad PR. Well, at least it's not Brent Grimes' wife. She's woof. So you got Cutler coming back. You got Kevin White, Alshon Jeffrey. On defense, Alshon. I like him. The show. I like his nickname. Defensively, relatively new squad. We got former Super Bowl champion Danny Trevathan, linebacker from Denver. We got Jarrell Freeman, pickup from the Colts, hustler. We got on the emergence of Eddie Goldman, hopefully. We got Kyle Fuller coming back. And then our first-round draft pick in Leonard Floyd, outside linebacker from Georgia. Little skinny. That's the big knock on him. He needs to bulk up a little bit. But super athletic. The hopes is he can be like a Javon Kirst. Where do you see this team this year? And do you see them making the playoffs? And if you had to make just a wild shot in the dark prediction, what do you think their record is out of a 16-game season?
I mean, I'd have to say 8-8, but
500.
Yeah, it's a lot of new faces. I'm not familiar with a lot of the newer players. We still, I think, have our top scorer, Robbie Gold.
Yeah, we do. Oh man, if you ever get a chance, okay,
That's a decent organization he has too.
I'm gonna go really gay right here because I love gays and we're in Boys Town. Have you ever seen the kicker, Pat O'Donnell?
No, I have not.
My God, that guy could steal everyone's wife at the same time.
Oh,
Dude, we went. Let me see if I can pull up a picture of this guy. I was blown away. He was walking, and me and Billy we're drenched in sweat. We're drenched in sweat on the sideline, basically from looking at him.
man.
Pat O'Donnell, look at this guy. Look at this guy. Don't get hard. Just promise me you won't get hard.
Too late.
Are you already hard?
Oh, yeah.
And he's just shredded. Would you fuck him? I need to know.
On the record, no.
Chris, would you fuck Pat O'Donnell? Yeah.
He gets 2 thumbs up, I guess.
Up where?
Anywhere.
All right. Fair enough. Yeah, no.
Hey, that's my buddy's slogan.
Is that your buddy's slogan, Mike? Oh, that's funny. No, yeah. So, yeah, we went down there or whatever, and Gold was doing his thing. He was just nailing him.
Yeah.
You know, and especially after last season, coming off one of his worst seasons, I think he's going to bounce back like a stud.
Yeah.
So there's that. Would you be interested in going to any games with me this year?
Yes, I would. Just got to stay away from a particular section.
What section is that?
The X's parents section.
Oh, dude, that's actually where I just got the tickets. Sorry. That's okay. We'll
just buy out the whole section.
We'll have a couple sodas to just kind of, for just focus on the game, per se.
Yeah, for sure.
We should grow out some amazing mustaches, too, in spirit.
Oh, yeah.
Throw
the blue blockers on.
Be as unfuckable as possible.
The Bears.
The Bears. Because if the Midwest is known for one thing, it's great bodies.
Yeah, you know it.
So throw a mustache in there. Forget about it. Fugazi.
You all right? I just had a heart attack.
There goes Mike again.
Dozen.
Having a heart attack. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, 500 I think is a fair bet, right?
I mean, you can't. I mean, if it was Vegas, you wouldn't bet any amount of money higher than that.
You wouldn't bet the farm?
No, I would not.
Assuming you own a farm.
I do own a farm.
Do you own a farm?
I own a farm animal, Australian Shepherd. He's awesome.
That might have been the greatest segue
He's
of
a
all
herder.
time. He's
And a special note, if you ever see me on Tinder, it's actually his profile. I just have a few photos after him.
So you're on Tinder. How's that going?
I lead the way with the dog photos, and
Do you?
then I back it up with my own photos.
Don't give away your strategy, man. That's
Hey, for all those Tinders out there, post your dog first. You'll be doing okay.
This is what you're gonna want to do, guys. Just what if I would? Do you think it would backfire if I posted a dog that I didn't own? Like, say if I posted your dog.
Well, yeah. I mean, what I usually do is I say, hey, this dog thinks you're cute. He wants to go on a picnic or something. And then it's a 2-for-1 deal, and I'm included.
You have more game in your pinky finger than I do in my whole body. I'm like, I'm shooting blanks over
Now,
here.
if you do somebody else's dog, you got to be able to.
Whoa.
take
First
that
off,
dog.
I just want to go on record that the thoughts and reflections of Christopher Rodriguez do not necessarily reflect the thoughts of men in scoring position. We are not into bestiality. Just saying.
But if you do post a dog picture up there, you got to make sure you could find that dog when you need that dog.
Why do I have to put something up a dog? Is that what you just told me to do?
That's a good one. You got a good one. That one will work. Throw that up on
Mike's
there.
got a dog picture too?
Yeah.
What is that, a corgi?
That's a Jack Russell Chihuahua.
Why you got your thumb up there?
Wait, it's a Jack Russell.
Well, look how much she likes it.
It's a Jack Russell Chihuahua.
She's like,
Remember Dirty Work?
So is it a Chihuahua?
no, her face is like a Chihuahua and her body's like a Jack Russell.
But what do they call that dog? Is that a Chihuahua or is that
Jack Wawa?
Jack Wawa?
Oh, come on.
Jack
Chihuahua.
Wawa. That's actually what
Chihuahua whack?
that's what the girl who I lost my virginity to called me in the bedroom.
Chihuahua?
No, a Jack Wawa.
Oh, Jack Wawa.
Yeah, she goes, so like, cause I put my hand somewhere and then she was like, "Are you Jack Wawa?"
Nice.
Guys, like that dad joke.
There you go.
Like that Roger from American Dad. I dated this portly, unattractive lady, Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, for 6 months. I dumped her hard out of nowhere for no reason at all. It was awesome. Oh man, that's funny. All right, so yeah, Bears not too much to talk about. Do you got any bold Super Bowl predictions?
I mean, I'd
Any
like to see
teams
the
like
Hawks
under the radar teams that you got going on?
under the radar teams. I mean, I'm just Seahawks. I think it seems to be.
You got Thomas Rawls
I mean, I would think San Francisco's going to do a little better this year. I would hope.
with Chip Kelly, yeah.
I would
Oof.
hope Colin Kaepernick does a little better. Not that I'm a fan of the team, but I think.
But that was like a weird budding rivalry that was starting.
Yeah.
And then it just got squashed out of nowhere because the entire organization fell apart.
Yeah. If Harbaugh's not happy, then you know.
Worst thing they did was get rid of Harbaugh, but then he went to where? My team.
Western.
Nope.
Or Michigan.
Just Michigan.
Just
yeah.
Michigan.
Maize and blue through and through. Which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. But still, I don't like to see one of the better franchises in the history of the National Football League just kind of.
Sizzle out.
Yeah, they're like 10 years away from anything.
Yeah.
Hopefully 5.
Yeah.
But
We'll
Chip,
see what happens.
I mean, it'd be cool to just see that rivalry happen again between you guys because it was like 2 young, mobile, athletic African-American quarterbacks in these fun, funky systems with 2 fun, funky coaches that were both college rah-rah guys that didn't do well in the pros at first. So it was like there was so much polarity.
And I think between the two, I think Russell had always the better head on his shoulders as far as, clarity and focus of what he's trying to do.
That guy could walk into the boardroom of any boardroom and command it. Like Russell Wilson is a man amongst boys mentally.
And a side note, do you think he slept with Sierra yet? Because I know it was like
They got married.
a year or two thing that they had. I mean, you never know. He probably still hasn't.
He's probably a little do. Should I? Should we
I
do
don't know.
it? Should we do it? I'll tell you what. I've seen Sarah, and she is.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to hold out.
I don't think anybody would. I don't think anybody would, dude.
No,
I
I
mean,
doubt it.
Russell's a good-looking guy too.
Yeah,
You know what I
he's
mean? It
tough.
must have been hard for her, but at the end of the day, oof, she is a smoke show. Absolute smoke show.
Absolutely.
Oof. All right, yeah.
Brings us into the Sierra segment of the show.
Yeah, you guys ready for pop culture? Oh, that's funny. So okay, let me get how we did with the teams that we had earlier. Give me your just a couple stars that you would build your franchise around in terms
We're talking
of
NFL.
NFL, baby.
I like as my quarterback. I'd love Russell.
Russell as your quarterback. Okay.
I like him. You know, he's small. I like the quarterbacks that move around a little bit.
Okay. What about a running back?
I want my Marshawn back.
Just get him out of retirement?
Just pull him back. I mean, he's not, what is he, 33, 32?
Oh, he's a kid.
Yeah, I'd like to see him back.
Marshawn. Beast mode.
Yeah.
What about 2 wide receivers?
Wide receivers right now? Alshon is one of my faves.
Alshon Jeffrey.
I would say he's up there.
All right.
And, let's say...
We can always come back to it if you need. I don't mean to put you on the spot like this. But you're on the spot.
I'm on the spot. Another receiver.
I mean, like some of the notables obviously would be AJ Green, Des Bryant, DeAndre Hopkins.
Everybody's gonna say Des.
I hate anybody in a star.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't do that.
What about some slot receivers?
Slot receivers, some of the best in the game. I mean, Golden Tate, but he's like a number 1.
Yeah, he's up there.
He's up there, Golden Tate.
He's up there.
That's not bad. And then, do you have any tight ends? It's not really tight end savvy league. I mean, obviously it'd be Gronk, I would imagine, right?
No.
No.
Not a Gronk fan.
Not a Gronk fan.
I mean, he's a great player.
What about Jimmy Graham?
Yeah, I'll take a Jimmy Graham.
Do you just want the entire Seattle team back? Like, is that what you're going for? With
just write down Seattle for the
Seattle for the entire team, the entire defense. You just want Seattle too.
Yeah, why not?
Fair enough. So you heard it here, folks. Chris Rodriguez just wants Seattle's circa 2014 team back. Oh, that's funny. So a little game that we like to play here on Men in Scoring Position is we like to do a little bit of trivia. So what I'll do is I'll ask you a couple trivia questions. You answer them, and at the end, you get a prize.
Oh, awesome!
Yeah. So I hope you brought your gift bag. Did you not? Did you not bring your gift bag?
I brought several bags.
Okay. All right. Let me see.
What if I fail miserably? Do I still get at least one gift bag?
Nope. we're pretty ruthless here. We don't do a lot of like if you lose, you lose.
Right.
Like you
It's
just
just-
there's no participation medals on this podcast.
No Franny awards.
No Franny awards. Is that the second American Dad?
Roy Rogers McFreely.
Yes. Oh, that's funny. Let's see. Sports quizzes and games. Today's editor's pick. Let's do what? Let me ask you a question. What
Sure.
are you most versed in? What would you like?
Let's do. Are you also playing the trivia as well?
Well, I have the answers right here.
Well, I could look up a trivia as well.
Oh, you play a lot of Madden, don't you?
Yeah, I do a little Madden.
Let's do a Madden cover challenge.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, whoa. It's gonna be rough, but we'll try.
All right. So let's do. Hold on. Let me look this up real quick,
Here,
guys.
let me look it up too, since Google exists.
No. You're not looking it up. Get out of here, cheetah. All right. So what I'm gonna have you do, is I want you to list as many Madden covers as you possibly can, starting with whenever you remember, and the minute you get them wrong, I'll buzz you.
Okay, let's see here. Drawing a blank. Let's say, was Gronk on one yet?
Gronk was on one. That is correct.
Aaron Rodgers was on one?
Aaron Rodgers was not on one. To the best of my knowledge, he was not. Nope, no Aaron Rodgers.
Marshawn Lynch was on one.
Marshawn was not on one, to the best of my knowledge. Now, you know what, though? I will say with a lot of these Madden covers, they'll do different for Xbox and they'll do different for PS. So I'm not exactly sure.
I think our personal favorite was the Vic one.
Oh, Michael Vick, 2004.
Yeah, that was one of the best.
Done.
You just couldn't beat. You just run around circles.
No, dude.
like the
If
Tecmo
anybody
Bowl.
played with that team, like they were no. Like I would refuse to play with people that were like, "Oh, I'm the Atlanta Falcons." You know what I mean?
Marshall Falk was on one of them.
Marshall Falk was on one of them. Ray Lewis was on one of them.
Ray Lewis one was good.
Odell Beckham Jr. was on one of them. Larry Fitzgerald and I believe it was Santonio. Oh, Troy Polamalu was on one.
Who's on the Madden 25 one?
Barry Sanders.
Nice.
Yeah, Barry Sanders. Richard Sherman, your boy, was on one. So yeah, there's a lot of different Madden covers, but
Dante Culpepper.
Dante Culpepper was on one.
Like random.
Marshall Falk was on one. Ray Lewis was on one. There's a couple other ones that I'm forgetting about. But all in all, there's been a lot of different men. Oh, Vince Young.
Donovan McNabb.
Donovan McNabb in 06. That's right.
Drew Brees, Brett Favre.
Brett Favre. Which one was Brett Favre again?
Late 2000s?
You know who else was on the cover of Madden? Madden.
For like the first 10 years.
Yeah, Madden was on it. So, I mean, there's that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I'm going down it all. He didn't start putting players on until
Richard
2001.
Sherman, Madden 15.
Madden 15, who was on that?
Richard Sherman.
Richard Sherman, yeah, I said that. So in 2001, you had Eddie George. 2002 was Dante Culpepper. 2003 was Marshall Falk. 4 was Vic. 5 was Ray.
I actually
6
didn't know Gronkowski was on the newest one. I didn't.
Yeah.
I thought it was an early
That's the
one.
new one coming out. 6 was Donovan. 7 was Sean Alexander. 8 was Vince Young. 9 was Favre. 10 was the culmination of Palomalu and Larry Fitzgerald. 11, Drew
Whoa.
Brees. 12, oh my God, do you remember this? Peyton Hillis was 12.
I actually don't remember that one at all. I don't remember playing that one.
Yeah, I remember that. Peyton Hillis was on 12. Calvin Johnson was 13. Madden 25, the 25th anniversary, which would have been Madden 14, was Barry Sanders. 15 was Richard Sherman. 16 was ODB. And 17 is your boy Gronk, out in stores today for the low rate after tax of $70-some-odd and change.
Pick us up, NFL.
You know what I'm saying?
Sorry about earlier.
Yeah, no, we love you. Roger Goodell, you're the best. That being said, that has been another episode of the Men in Scoring Position podcast. Chris, thank you so much for coming on.
It was a pleasure. I had a good time.
Do you have, you did all your plugs. Do you have anything else you want to say to the viewers at home?
Shout out to Laugh Factory. Always a pleasure to come down here, hang out with the guys.
Dude, you're amazing. Also, Mike, thank you so much for coming on, man. You're amazing, too.
He makes it happen.
He does. You the real MVP. That being said, guys, last minute plug, Men in Scoring Position, Facebook, iTunes, and SoundCloud, self-titled Men in Scoring Position. We are also on Snapchat and Twitter. You can find us at Men in Scoring POS. Be sure hashtag Prediction Plunge, hashtag Men in Scoring Position. You show any of the box office, you get free tickets to the world-famous Laugh Factory for a show.
And a high five.
And a high five. And a thank you for listening.
Absolutely.
You can email us with your thoughts, comments, general overall points of view at meninscoringpod@gmail.com. And guys, this is our videotaped episode. So if you're listening, you can find us on YouTube, Men in Scoring Position. This is episode 17 with Chris Rodriguez. No, this is episode 18, right? Yeah, this is episode 18. I apologize. Episode 18 with Chris Rodriguez. Thank you so much, guys. You guys are awesome.
Thanks, guys.